Welcome to Things You Should Know, Accounting Edition. Today we'll cover a slightly different topic, the General Ledger. The General Ledger is an umbrella term for several different journals that record the different transactions of the company. Before we dig into it, there's some background we should cover. The accounting cycle, the name given to the collective process of recording and processing the accounting events of a company. The series of steps begin when a transaction occurs and end with its inclusion in the financial statements. Thank you to Investopedia for that definition. The steps of the accounting cycle is performed during each accounting period. The steps include classifying, recording, and summarizing data for a business like Jello's Coffee Shop. The first step in the cycle is to analyze the actual business transaction. We've already learned this skill in determining what the transaction is made up by using T accounts. The second step is to prepare an actual record of the business transaction. These transactions are recorded in a journal, which is similar to a diary. These journals list transactions in chronological order, in the order in which they happen. There are different types of journals for different purposes, but the journal we'll focus on will be the general journal. The general journal is a record for entering all types of business transactions. This process is called journalizing. Today we'll cover some of the basics and then go into more detailed transactions in our next video. If you refer to the Excel sheet, I'll go over what the journal entry looks like. Most journals look very similar to this. First, if you look on top, you'll see it's titled General Journal. It's page 1. To signify it's new year, we put in a new year number to the top of the date column. In this case, it'll be 2014. Then we'll write the month down and the date on the next row. This will be for the first transaction. After this first entry, you only write the year or month when a new page is started or when a year or month changes. So after this, the rest of January will only use dates on the first line. So you won't have to worry about saying January until you come to the next page or until it switches to February. Once the date is entered, right here, like what you see right here, enter the information in the description column. You do this by entering the account to be debited, so in this case it would be cash. Write the account names close to the left-hand margin, so you'll want to keep it left aligned like it is there. Then you'll enter the debit amount in the debit column. Make sure it's on the same line as the actual label. Then go to the next down line on the description column, indent it, and enter the other account name. In this case, it'll be Jello's Capital. You'll then enter the credited amount. Once again, what we're doing here is recreating the transaction of when Jello invested his $100,000 into the company. Finally, you'll go down one more line into the description column. Indent it again, and this is where you'll enter the description of the transaction. Remember to write account names exactly as they appear in the chart of accounts. This will minimize errors when the amounts are transferred. Remember also to leave a blank line between each set of transactions. Sometimes this is used to number each entry. It is also important for the name of the account you use, like you'll see here, the cash, to match the name in the chart of accounts. A final note, when possible, the journal entry description should refer to the source in the information, such as this line right here. If it is recording a check written for an expense, then include the check number in the description. So in this case, if Jello had used a check, we would say something like check 110. That way you could tie it back. If it involves some sort of document like a receipt or an invoice, try and include some sort of invoice number in there as well. Now just remember, these type of documents that you'll be listed here are part of what is called an audit trail. An audit trail is a chain of references that make it possible to track the information, locate errors, and stop fraud. This provides a way to check the journal entry against the original data and the related documents. Well, that's it guys. We'll wrap up the video here. The next couple of videos will include a more detailed set of examples of how to fill out this general journal. Until then, take care.